The Square Ball Podcast.
Hiya, welcome to the show. It's in your podcast app, this one, and it's on YouTube. This is Propaganda, our weekly tour of the football fan channels. Although we've got quite a lot of festive stuff to catch up on, Michael, haven't we?
I mean, we have, but it's all been a bit sad, hasn't it, really, following the whole thing?
Recent events have meant, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
First thing to say is that new year, new Levi's read, or
Not yet, no.
same old nonsense?
Still send something through.
Yeah.
But until then,
Please save us and send some new copy through for Michael to mangle, if you could. Until then.
Will's Pro Work Conveyancing.
Right.
Jessica Ennis, good night.
10% discount on your legal fees, by the way.
About 1 in 100 people will get the reference.
What is that reference? I know it, but I don't know
it's a guy called Otis doing the athletics presenting very badly.
Yes. So
And he just finished a sentence with Jessica Ennis, good night. and then it cut to black or something.
Oh, yes, he's the guy who used to be the kids' TV presenter and then he went into athletics
Yeah, and
presenting.
it didn't go terribly well.
No, but
Live
bless
TV
him.
is difficult.
Yeah, bless him. I feel really bad for him. You've just publicly shamed him.
Well,
So that's good.
he's probably not listening.
If you've been publicly shamed and you want to speak to a solicitor, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball for a 10% discount on your legal fees. I don't know if they do public shaming. What would that fall under?
It's hard to say.
Is it wills, probate or conveyancing?
I don't think it's any of those.
Lasting powers of attorney?
Nope.
Commercial dispute resolution?
Nope.
Property?
No. Don't get any of these things.
Full details and terms on the website.
Personal injury, maybe?
Injury to feeling.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, have you got hurty feelings, have you? Grow up. And contact Levi's. Right, into the weekly tour of the football fan channels. Chris Mack is with us as well. Where are we going first, Michael, on your tour?
Well, I don't want to hear any Hull fans.
Oh, actually, can I pause you there?
You can.
Can I pause you there? I've just realised.
You should have done it before you introduced me, really.
I really should have done. But I just had this thought occur to me that the greatest bit of propaganda that has been released about Leeds United in the last couple of weeks has come from within Leeds United. So it is worth doing this first, which was the match report for the Hull game, because you talking about the Hull game, and I know where you're going with this, just trigger the memory. So the second goal, as described on the Leeds United website, the Tigers quickly hit back, though, and set up a tense finish. A looping ball inside the Leeds area came back off the top of the crossbar and fell kindly for João Pedro to tap home at close range.
Well, between the looping ball and him tapping in from close range, did anything happen?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at all in that period?
Nothing. It just fell kindly to him.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
Any mention of where the goalkeeper was?
Nope.
No?
There was no goalkeeper. Didn't mention a goalkeeper. There was no goalkeeper.
He tried his best. We'll go with that.
Right, and related to that then, Michael.
Let's hop in a time machine. Goalkeepers have been... Pretty much everyone is just talking about Meslier still, days and days later. So I'm going to take us back to November 2011. Yesterday, I nominated John Joe Shelby for villain for breaking our goalkeepers. So going back to the first goalkeeper of ours he broke when he was a mere bald teenager playing on loan.
Were you talking about yourself there?
No, I was.
Oh, sorry.
I was in my early 20s when I was bald. But yeah, when he broke Paul Rehubka while on loan at Blackpool, I think.
From Liverpool?
Yeah, that'd make sense. So I went back to listen to our podcast from 2011. I've got a few clips about what we had to say about what was, at the time, and I think still remains, despite Mellier's best efforts, the worst goalkeeper performance ever.
Just before I press play on this, is this going to be toe curling?
From your point of view, maybe, yeah.
Okay, let's find out.
The second one was like somebody had thrown a bucket of eels at him and he was desperate to clutch at one of them. It was awful to watch. I'm surprised Tom Leeds didn't slap him on the way off.
It was something to behold, wasn't it, as a performance from one man.
It got to the point where there's nothing else he could watch, even when Leeds were trying to sort of attack. He was still looking at him, thinking, what is happening here?
It is a rare thing, isn't it? It's a very rare occasion when the focus becomes all about one person. Often you can have hate figures in football where you direct your anger towards them, but in this case...
It's normally visiting players.
Yeah.
Your own players.
Can he mess it up any more than he has done?
And that's what everyone was saying after the penalty red card incident, and then just a few minutes later it was just kind of when the third one, it was just like, he's done it again. Jesus Christ.
Like silence fell, like disbelief, and the idea as well that there was still potentially another 60 minutes of him standing in that goal doing that.
We sound so young, so idealistic.
the lesser spotted Oddie there as well.
Oddie there, yeah, the
Moscow and Oddie.
And Moscow as well, yeah.
I did listen to this on the way to work this morning because you mentioned it yesterday on the podcast, and I was chuckling because Moscow's definitely softened as he got older.
As we'll hear in this next clip, yeah, because Moscow has always always liked Meslier as well, was the other thing. To the extent that I was actually I was pleased I didn't have to listen to anyone defend him at the weekend because I was just ready to be cross at him. But Moscow, as you can hear, this is actually a clip about how Grayson dealt with it by sending Alex Cairns off the bench to warm up. But about the sort of general dealing with it, and you'll hear Moscow's less charitable era.
Would it not have been fair, though, to say, right, you just go out, warm up at half-time, and then we'll stick you on for the start of the second half, rather than completely hanging him out to dry? And he hung him out to dry in the press afterwards, didn't he, as well? I mean,
there's nothing you can say, though, is there, after that performance? I think, are we all agreed that it's the worst goalkeeping performance you've ever seen?
Yes.
Yeah. I've never seen a keeper do nothing right. No. Even when keepers have made mistakes, they've then managed to catch a cross or dealt with a shot straight at them. Literally every single thing he had to do in that game went wrong.
So every goal since he's come into the net can, apart from maybe the Cardiff one, be blamed on Rahubka. They've all been his fault. I'm not worried about poor Rahubka's feelings because I felt bloody terrible, so I don't see any reason why we should keep our substitute keeper out of his side so as not to upset him. I was upset. He should be upset.
Is there
I paid 25 quid to be there. He got paid. He got paid to do that. Fuck his feelings.
I wasn't actually at that game, which I'm masking in this clip as well. Like so you were there, and I was like, I wasn't there. I mean, I did miss it.
We have done a guide to this this game as well, where we talk through the individual mistakes, etc. But we go on to then deal with, you're trying to be nice at this point, and you're trying to talk about the role of third choice keepers. And bear in mind, we're in the process of maybe trying to buy someone, and at this stage, you may be looking at getting a Kiko Casilla type, not a racist, a reserve. In this clip, it's talking about the role of third choice keepers, and you're being quite charitable in a way that the rest of us are not.
It's, again, because I wasn't there.
Is there maybe a question of his very comfortable bubble as a reserve keeper being popped a little bit because he's probably gone to training and taken his fairly meagre pay packet home? And then
I don't imagine it is fairly meagre.
Well, probably not. I mean, comparatively speaking, but
for a man who does no work, who basically has a bit of a kick about.
And if what you're inching towards is he signed for Leeds United expecting never to have to play and just put his feet up and take a wage, I'm hating him even more. I was prepared to come in. I didn't boo him at the game, and I shook my head when the chance of off started. Now I want to rewind time and just get down on the pitch and have a go at him.
He did sign as a first team keeper because we didn't have another keeper.
Well, no, he didn't. It was made clear, wasn't it, afterwards?
We didn't have another keeper at that point.
Thank God it was made clear afterwards, in retrospect. But what I was going to ask was, there's no reserve team. He doesn't have to do anything apart from turn up and train and take his money and sit on the bench every week. So is there a certain amount of predictability about his collapse when he's actually thrown onto the grass?
No. Not of that level. He's 30 years old. He's probably spent 15, 20 years most days trying to catch a football.
And if you're a professional footballer, you have to be any good. That's the level you have to be at.
Yeah.
Catching a ball.
Kicking a ball.
That second one, it was the most simple catch you would expect a 5-year-old to catch it.
My daughter's 3 and she can catch.
Yeah.
Give her a game.
He spent decades training to be like that.
What, like a 3-year-old?
Long time ago, that.
Long time ago.
My daughter's 16 now. She can still catch.
That's good. Yeah. Still better than Paul. I'd still have her in instead of Paul Rahubka.
Yeah, Paul Rahubka might be slightly better at, what is it doing now? Legal services.
Well, let's not promote the legal companies.
Okay. I think it's like sports law that he does some daft shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Some made up discipline.
Well, you can definitely trust him, can't you?
Reliable.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been looking on his Wikipedia. He played for 7 clubs. He's an accountant actually.
An accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's someone going to jail for tax fraud. Accidental tax fraud. Sorry.
Oh God. Can we move on from listening to us sounding younger and squeakier?
We can do if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to.
What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear a Derby fan being reasonable, or do you want to hear not the top 20?
I feel like will this act as a nice amuse-bouche if we have the Derby fan on, just to make us feel warm and fuzzy about it all again?
They were too reasonable.
All right,
with Derby fans, and this is just a little sample of reasonableness.
Derby actually put in a really spirited battling performance today against Leeds United to go head-to-head with one of the best sides in the division for the majority of the game and keep it at 0-0 was really good and really positive from us. We didn't look like we were going to score in the game, I'd say. I think our best opportunity came through Nat Phillips with the header, or Curtis Nelson when they rose high at a corner and Meslier had to tip it over the crossbar. But apart from that, we didn't really create too much. But I've not really got too many negatives to talk about today's performance. It was a really positive performance against one of the best sides in the division. It took a moment of brilliance, a moment of quality from Leeds United to separate the two sides. It was a well-worked move, the goal. Leeds were patient with the ball, and it did worry me when they had it. I felt like they were just waiting for the right moment to put a cutting-edge pass in through our back four, and they did that, and Aronson finished it away.
Meslier tipping the ball over the bar there. Do you remember those days?
Never catch on.
Do you remember that? Those days, the halcyon days.
Happier times. Nat Phillips there getting a mention. I think we discussed it during the game. I remember just being like, why is he still on loan from Liverpool? He's 27 years old. Yeah. His only permanent club has been Liverpool, and he's played like 20 games from over the course of his life. Weird? Are they just holding on in case there's a major injury crisis? Maybe, but I mean, if you've been sent off to lower end Championship, it suggests you're not really fit to be being drafted in. I
suppose it's a bit like having a mortgage, isn't it? And then renting your house out as an Airbnb. You can make more money off it being an Airbnb than just you living in it.
I think they're going to be in for a nasty surprise when they can't loan out a 40-year-old Nat Phillips, though. Whereas a house, you can tend to keep renting that out forever.
Torch it, insurance do.
Oh yeah, fair dues. Yeah, get the life insurance on him.
Next,
Nat Phillips.
I meant the house rather than Nat Phillips.
Oh, okay. Sorry, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
He'd probably move if he tried to certify it.
Yeah. Anyway, could you stop doing that?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Not the top 20 then. Let's go back to...
we know those guys are sensible, measured.
Yes, which in some ways makes this all the more depressing.
Right.
I mean, you mentioned Leeds there. I've got them as a sneaky winner because they also got 8 points. They got the same amount of points as Burnley. They weren't top of the league, and now they are top of the league. So there's a couple of very easy ways where you could say Leeds are major winners of this period. But the last two games, they've conceded late equalisers because they just refuse to live an easy life, do they? They'd won at Stoke, they'd won at Derby, away form questions being put to bed somewhat with good displays and some nice goals scored. And then the last two games where they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Meslier is still a massive conversation because he's just consistently causing
the reaction
harm
of the players
defensively. You've got Carl Darlow on the bench. Can we just have 5 games of Carl Darlow? See what happens?
I've never really seen a collective show of emotion like that. I mean, you can basically see Joe Rodon saying to him, like, what are you doing? He's a massive issue for them. And I think when you see teammates of a player express that kind of frustration, it's probably quite hard to see a way back. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we do see Darlow fairly soon.
And, it's even starker in comparison with the shot-stopping numbers being put up by James Trafford in goal for Burnley, Michael Cooper in goal for Sheffield United, and Patterson in goal for Sunderland, who've all been massive net positives. Net positive, that's quite a good pun for a goalkeeper. Anyway,
yeah, I think basically without Meslier, they'd have had the title sewn up by now, basically. And that's that's even like a numbers point as well. Like put Trafford in goal, replicate the shot-stopping stats, and they probably have about 9 more points.
Well, that's not made me feel any better. Because we know that.
Because they're like,
Ali and George are sensible.
They're quite neutral and reasonable.
Yeah.
And we were saying, we should already be promoted if it weren't for Meslier.
No, they've said it.
And they've come on and said the same.
Thanks for making us more anxious. Thanks for nothing, guys.
But
anyway, we'll get them back on. We'll get them back on the West Stand soon.
It's good to have it confirmed by people who are saying, I suppose.
Yeah. Because
we're sometimes a bit lost in the fog of it, aren't we?
Sometimes, all the time, most of the time.
I go in and out. Should we hear someone else lost in the fog of the Championship?
Yes.
It's a Blackburn fan. It's Cantwell.Susan7, originally from TikTok, but I will admit this was brought to...
Mate, you've said a load of things there that I don't really understand.
Cantwell.Susan7?
Yeah.
I don't understand what it is either.
I think it's supposed to be season.
Susan. It's like Dazen.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Dazen.
Is that your mate Dazen?
They have the pay-per-view boxing on the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
If they don't want to sponsor the show, I can recommend buying it as well.
I think
it's an alternative.
I'm right in thinking that Radrazani sold up 11 Sports to Dazen. It got folded into Dazen, didn't it?
I think it might have done.
Yeah.
And Dazen also bought the TV rights for that FIFA tournament that no one wanted right before.
This is the World Club
right
thing.
before Saudi Arabia were given a World Cup. It's just interesting the way that things work sometimes. But let's hear from an angry Blackburn fan. The Burnley fans are at the other end. Burnley have just scored. I think this is quite a young man, I'm guessing.
Mate, if it's Cantwell.7 and he's a former TikToker, I'm guessing so.
But he's cross.
Well, it's that Cardiff City fans' cousin in Blackburn who's been on the roids.
He lacks the charm though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's just genuinely this lad, I think, he's like this all the time.
Right.
Probably. I think the Cardiff lad just loses at football.
He's probably sitting in double miles right now.
Yeah. Still wishing death upon someone. I don't know who it was who scored for Burnley. I can't remember. I'm guessing there was some celebration going on in front of him that he was displeased with.
I just don't think I could have the energy for that. I suppose he's young.
He's full of beans, full of ideal ideas.
Went on for a long time though.
Idealism.
It's funny that people from Blackburn think people from Burnley are inbred.
Yeah, it's really close.
And people from
geographically, it's very similar.
And people from the other way. That if only they knew.
Yeah.
If only they knew what the rest of us know.
Yeah. Anyway, that was good.
So that's the Championship.
That certainly added some colour to proceedings.
Indeed.
I will say.
Do you want to hear from some people who are soon to be in the Championship? Match day vlogs.
Yeah.
Southampton. We've heard 1-5-0
Is that
already.
vlog spelled with a Z like that child citizen?
No, they're older.
Right. Okay.
Older men. But they're at home to Brentford, who as we know are a League One team. They've not won away from home all season, so they go to Southampton and they're a bit optimistic. So this is them pre-game.
This is one of 10 home games that we have remaining, as far as I calculated earlier. And we could win every single home game until the end of the season, and it still not be enough to stay in the Premier League.
Why do you say that?
Because it'd be the most unbelievable greatest escape ever, wouldn't it? Can you imagine?
I see you're thinking the positives. Yeah, it would in fact be the greatest escapes if we remained up. You're absolutely right. It's going to take more than the 25 unbeaten run than last year, but I've seen us do that. So what's to say we couldn't do that in this league?
Anything is possible. But if I have to press you for a score prediction, Jay, where are you going to go with this one?
4-1 Southampton.
Oh, I love it. Do you know what? I romantically, and for no other reason other than pure romance, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Southampton, because that's what I predicted. That's exactly what I predicted in the fixture in 2022, and it ended up 4-1. So I'm going to go back to my 3-1 to feel that conservative. And also, Matt Lettiz in the fan zone did say it was going to be 2-0 today.
He said a lot of things. It does feel like they're doing that wild delusional optimism because they've got nothing left. You've just got to kind of put tongue firmly in cheek and laugh it all off because you know where this is going.
Yeah, I just looked at their team from the weekend. They had James Bray in the team in the Premier League.
Yeah,
right.
And that boy Onuachu up front who played against Leeds.
Who was still not scored for him.
It like just a complete totem pole of uselessness.
Yeah, Tall Paul.
Yeah,
as they know him. But yeah, I think they paid like 20-odd million quid for him, didn't they? As well, he's still not scored a single goal.
So according to my maths, they're going to need how many points do you think it'll take to stay up? Do we still set the bar at 35 in the Premier League?
Probably. I'm pretty confident 35 would be enough this year.
Yeah, so let's say 35. They're 10 points adrift already, so they're on 6 points. That means, I think the maths here is another 29 points from 20 games. So you're looking at 1.5 points per game. So basically win-loss right to the end of the season. 18 games left. Will they do it?
Oh, it's going to be close.
They're actually tracking behind Derby's record lowest points total. They're a point behind where Derby were.
I genuinely thought no one would ever come close to that.
Yeah, that's like incredibly bad.
Yeah.
If a team got relegated from like the Championship to League One, lost all their players, they would maybe come close to that. You know, like a team that's gone down a league, but surely a team going up a league is still worth 2 or 3 wins minimum and a handful of draws.
I mean, bollocks to them.
That's kind of where I've got to on this. I mean, looking at the stats from that game as well, do you know how many big chances Southampton had?
None.
0. Brentford, 11. And Brentford had a goal disallowed by VAR. So it could have been a lot worse. So this is anyway from those predictions. This is 5-0 unfolding from the first goal hitting the net.
Already. Do we be real right now? That should be 2-0, shouldn't it?
Yeah, let's be honest. Should be 3-0.
It's gonna be our time, isn't it? I think there is a goal in it for us.
Absolutely.
There has to be a goal in it for us. And let's hope we can get one of our results, whether it be a 3-1 or a 4-1, and absolutely storm it in the second half. Let's hope so. Right, second half coming up. 2-0 up, and they haven't won away from like all season. Yeah. And half the away end is sat down.
Right, I'm going to go so I can get the early train. I can't be bothered to watch this. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
See you all.
Side that hasn't won away all season into the month of January, and they've just come here. And Southampton said, "Oh my beer, watch this." 4-0. Do you not adjust your sets? This is really how empty it is right now. Right, we're into 5 minutes of stoppage time, and Brentford have just got their 4th goal. So I'm just saying, it could have been 5. It could have been 6 here today. We've had absolutely nothing to pull together. Just been an absolute mess out there. I'm not sure what system I'm trying to go for at the moment, but it's got one of those feelings to it, a bit like 5.
You know how Leeds fans are notoriously fair-minded and generous
Yes.
in spirits of fans of other clubs. How much, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think will be massive pricks when they inevitably come down, especially if we go up in the same breath?
I was thinking throughout that, imagine we were Brentford in that scenario, because they're going, oh, the Brentford fans are sitting down. The Leeds fans would be acting just inciting the Southampton fans to the point.
The worst people.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was at the Southampton 4-3 game, and I can confirm there was some unbearable behaviour going on in that way. Just the worst sort of stuff to have to face.
Next,
Juric though not going great for him.
That's a shame.
Getting booed off. What's your 4th game or something?
Yeah, this is the guy who was saying he was linked with the Leeds job after Marsh got sacked, but this is when he was Torino manager. Their sporting director promised that they wouldn't sell any players, and they sold their 2 best players, and he came in and decked them in the car park on the first day of pre-season. So I would maybe not boo him, because he's got propensity to go in and like Cantona, one of the fans,
He could
and then just walk out.
Stand in the car park and do like a big line of fans, just one after the other, fisticuffs. Anyway, Michael, where's our tour going next?
Let's go to Webby and O'Neill.
All right. How are things going over at United?
Well, they're going all right now because they drew with Liverpool, which they're all quite pleased about. These clips are from after the Newcastle game, which didn't go as well. And speaking of that Nutter has been manager in Italy, another failed Italian import. This is them talking about Xerxes The man they paid 30 odd million quid for in summer, was it 30, 35, 36, something like that?
Yeah, because it was a release clause. It was actually lower than you probably would have paid otherwise.
But anyway, it's finished.
One thing I didn't expect, though, in the team tonight in the starting 11 was Xerxes, and he was took off after 30 minutes. What did you make of that?
I was shocked that he was on the pitch. I don't understand why Mainu weren't on the pitch. That, to me, is baffling. Someone's got to explain that. Xerxes has been absolutely poor since he's been here, and he's getting worse. I felt sorry for him coming off, okay, because that I wouldn't wish that on anybody. He is now finished at this football club. I cannot see him recovering, especially with his performances he's had since he's been here. I feel sorry for him, but he was atrocious.
Xerxes finished.
Xerxes.
Yep.
All done. Write that off.
He wasn't a goal scoring number 9. It was the same as Hoyland. Whenever Hoyland came, he wasn't the goal scoring number 9. But I don't know. They just can't seem to get that into their heads.
Do they want another one? We've got Pat Bamford for sale.
I think I said it before. They just want Teddy Sheringham. That's all they want. They want just some guy.
Right now.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
He's just going to tap in goals. That's it.
Next, where do we go, Michael?
Well, we'll stick on them. It's still Webby O'Neill. He's talking about the team and the midfield, but it's confusing because he's talking about the midfield of Casemiro and Eriksen not being mobile enough, but he's using a phrase that doesn't mean that.
Eriksen, Casemiro, got no legs. Casemiro's not played for ages, and them two in there were just stormed through, and the other players there were just stood around like headless chickens, not running.
Headless chickens is the opposite, isn't it? It's lots of running.
Headless chicken with no legs.
Headless chicken with no legs.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't run around if they've also got no legs.
They just sort of sit
and
there.
no head.
Yeah.
You're basically looking at one that's ready for an oven-ready one.
Right.
Is what they've got in midfield. And Casemiro would make a good meal.
Extra tasty. Right.
He's a big lad. So from that insight to the formation that they've been playing, obviously new manager and all that, he's got his
It's
ways.
three at the back, isn't it?
Well, it's this actually, if you want to listen.
Let's get this straight. This is nothing to do with Ruben Amorim, what's going out there on that pitch. He was brought in by Sir Jim Ratcliffe to play this tactics. 3-4-3, whatever 3-4-2, 3, whatever he wants to do.
It's perfectly clear.
It's about 27 players. No wonder they drew with Liverpool.
But yeah, obviously it was going. We've got a clip from the Liverpool game to follow, but this is post Newcastle. So this is basically he's advocating the equivalent of get Eddie in and play the kids.
Until it changes, and it won't change till the summer, Amorim has got no chance with this squad. The only thing what can happen, as I see it, is that a few youngsters are brought into this squad when some players in January are out of this club. And you know who they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players at least. Throw them out and just bring in the academy. Nothing else can get any worse. Just try it. I'm at a loss. I know you're at a loss. How it is deteriorated. The rapid deterioration of this football. That football in the first half was an absolute vile piece of football. And I was disgusted at it.
The teetering on the unhinged there. You can just feel it, can't you?
I would personally like to see them pay off 6 senior professionals and put in some youth players. I think that would go well.
Because that would cost them a load of money, and then they could just sack all the other staff and take away all their bonuses, couldn't they?
Yeah, it's a good idea, yeah.
I really am enjoying, more than anything, Jim Ratcliffe. He just seems to be a terrible human being.
Yeah.
He is Mr. Burns.
He's a perfect fit.
Yeah. He's like, everything he's done doesn't make any sense. All this, he's going to come in and he's going to trim the fat. He's still paying like Marcus Rashford 350 grand a week. I know he wants to get rid of him. He's not going to get rid of him at full cost. But I
mean, they gave Ten Hag a new contract in summer.
It's just glorious. Isn't
well done.
This feels like the sort of natural end point or natural destination for every advantage that they had in the 90s. All the extra money that was sent their way. The whole system was loaded in their favour. So they just became this really massive corporate sellout behemoth. And then this is like the long tail of it all because they fell into the hands of basically the Glazers, who were fairly rapacious owners.
Yeah, and they had, they were the first club that had the prawn sandwiches and all that sort of stuff, and now they're all full of rats.
Well, the Glazers saw the money, didn't they? And then bought did that massive leveraged buyout based on debt. It's great.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. And it's still going on, just loads of bad decisions.
They should still have a good team for how much money they've spent.
Yeah, I know it's great, isn't it?
But they haven't really. Anyway, they could have beaten Liverpool. Harry Maguire with that big Xerxes, who was finished at the club but did come on and pass to him. Passed to Maguire, who put it over the bar. So this is just a little collection of people reacting to that.
Last chance of this game, we've got another chance. Xerxes fed in! 1-on-1! Yes! Maguire! No! Harry Maguire spooned it over the top of the crossbar. It was such a sitter.
Come on. Slips in Xerxes. Joshua Xerxes. Maguire! I was ready to take my bloody top off. Oh my God, Maguire, how's he missed? How's he missed? That's it. That was it.
She's through. Xerxes! Maguire! Are you stupid? Maguire missed an excellent chance for Manchester United. You joke, man. You just got your contract renewed, you pussy. Oh, you just got that 1-year extension, you pussy. How'd you miss that?
Oh my God.
Wow. Go on, Xerxes! Go on, Xerxes!
Maguire!
Oh, no!
Maguire! He could have won it!
Shoot yourself!
Xerxes should have shot, man. Xerxes was far too selfless there.
Man United breakaway! Man United breakaway!
No! Oh, that was your chance!
Harry!
That was your chance!
Harry
Why didn't Xerxes shoot?
Sounded like the end of a Harry Potter movie, that, didn't it? And some of that strayed into the pitch that only dogs can hear. Because the distortion in that clip there was them, not us.
Yes.
We should say.
I feel very overstimulated after having listened to that.
I need a good lie down in a dark room.
I wasn't watching this because I can't really be bothered, if I'm being honest. But I have a couple of Man United friends at home, and one of them messaged into our group chat saying, Jesus Christ, Maguire. And I was like, has he scored? Has he missed? So I just stuck it on. And obviously, with the legitimate streaming service, it was about a minute behind, and I just caught it at the right time.
Perfect.
To see him spoon it over the bar.
It's funny, because I was listening to that and a thought dashed through my head in the first couple of clips thinking, I was going to say, give him a new contract and a pay rise for that. But it sounds like they have.
Yeah, they triggered a deal, a 1-year extension apparently.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny, Maguire, because he's obviously not bad generally, but he's often feels close to redemption, but then he's also like the unluckiest man in the world, but in a funny way. Like stuff just happens to him. Like he shouldn't really have even been there.
Is it like Sideshow Bob when he steps on all the rakes?
He just happened to find himself in the sort of the right place, but the wrong place.
Yeah,
for that to have happened. Anyway, long way to continue.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, give him a 2-year extension.
He should do what his teammate Scott McTominay did: go to Napoli, become a legend.
Yeah, scoring goals, isn't he?
Or go to Greece and go to prison.
Although due to your article, I did end up watching back Scott McTominay's goals against us the other day, because it was about the Dallas goal in that game being good. But then I was like, I'm just going to watch the rest of this just to...
when he's strolling through our midfield.
Just to remind myself of it. Oh dear.
Yeah, I did actually go and lie on the bed in the house in the dark for all of half time in that game, because I was like, I'm gonna end up saying something or ending a friendship, because all my mates were like Man United fans were just messaging in,
desperately trying to tap into your self-control.
Yeah, I was like, I need to just lie down. I think Neve came in and was like, are you being serious? Like, it's for the best.
Just leave me be.
Just need a moment.
Right then, Michael, are we nearly done?
Yeah, let's finish on a bit of nice innocent fun, shall we?
Right.
That Cardiff City fan,
he's back, is he?
He went to Watford to watch Cardiff. They won. I don't know if you can remember, Watford have got a mascot. He's like I guess he's a hornet.
Well, his name's Harry the Hornet. Yeah. Strikes me as a hornet.
He's having a bit of fun with the away fans, as you do. And so this is the away fans. The one in the middle there that you may not have heard properly was do the Ayatollah pedo. The Ayatollah being that thing that Cardiff fans do with the hands.
When Sam Hammam did that, didn't he?
Yeah,
The FA Cup game,
I don't know the origins of it, but yes. So this starts with, what the fucking hell was that? Goes to do the Ayatollah pedo to you're just a nonce in a costume.
Right.
And that is football.
That's football in 2025, isn't it?
This is why it's sometimes hard to explain to new fans of the sport. You'd be like, yeah, basically everyone gets called Pete. No one is really, but it's just a thing that everyone it's just a thing that happens now.
Harry the Hornet looks like a dog.
He does, doesn't he?
What's that about?
Yeah. I suppose the problem is a hornet's eyes are terrifying, aren't they?
Well,
because they kind of they'd be all around the side of its head.
Right. Let me have a look at a hornet's eyes.
Well, like
they've got loads of them, haven't they?
Insect eyes are like
the compound eyes, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like the full like fully around the head, aren't they?
I think
you don't want to scare the kids. You're going to make it look vaguely friendly, I suppose.
Oh no, I don't know. The hornets appear to have two. I don't know if you got your. Looks like a fighter pilot.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it, yeah, but they're big though, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, Harry the Hornet's eyes are big.
Okay,
but he looks like Goofy.
What's he been looking at? That's what I want to know.
He's been watching a football match. That's
with his permanent fixed expression. He's got eyebrows too. I'm not sure hornets have eyebrows.
No,
but then again, it looked like Neil Warnock without, just covering up bits of his face. Oh, there you go. And he seems to have hairy hands too, like a dog. Yeah, I think that's adding, because in the picture I put on the sheet, yeah, the hairy hands are definitely making him look more like a dog too.
And I think he's supposed to have like two little, like what are those little sticky out things?
Bits?
Yeah, I suppose they are. Whatever. Yeah, like a little proby thing, and they look like dog ears. You're right.
He doesn't even have wings.
He's not got wings or legs, or enough legs either.
Right.
Rubbish.
Sort it out. There you go. I think we'll finish there.
Okie doke. If Harry is listening, sorry to have spread that untrue rumour about you.
Which is very untrue, we should say.
Yeah, and it's actually not even aimed at the character, is it? Because they were very much saying it's the person in the costume.
Are they? I mean, that's an allegation.
That's what they were saying.
Right?
But we don't know who it is, do we?
No.
So it's probably fine.
A victimless crime.
A victimless crime, indeed.
Levi'sListers.co.uk/the square ball. Just a quick reminder of that.
Direct your queries to them.
We'll be, we might be back later in the week. Let's see, shall we? See you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.